Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. San Diego and Tijuana are seemingly worlds apart, with one being a US city in the state of California and the other a Mexican city in the state of Baja California. It's easy to think that these two cities have nothing more in common other than the land border that they share. That border, however, happens to be the most heavily trafficked in the world, with thousands crossing between the two cities each day. I wanted to explore San Diego and Tijuana to gain an unbiased vision of what it's like growing up in the borderlands.
I started coming here with my dad when I was 5 years old. The tacos are one of a kind.
Yo soy chicana, que viva el chicanismo.
Humanizing people's stories and seeing a way of life rarely reported by mainstream media.
Eso es lo que nos separa.
La pinche frontera. ¿Pesa en la conciencia un poco? Sí, sí.
Nearly 500 years ago, Spanish explorers set sail northward from Mexico's west coast and arrived at an enclosed port, known today as San Diego Bay. Later building a settlement here in the 18th century and populating it with missions whose main job was to convert the local indigenous population to Christianity. When Mexico gained independence from Spain in 1821, all present-day California became Mexican territory, and would remain so until the Mexican-American War in 1849, which culminated in the annexation of California to the United States. Barrio Logan is an artistic, industrial neighborhood with strong Mexican roots, and at its heart is Chicano Park, with dozens of murals depicting the Chicano community's past activism alongside their indigenous history in America. The history of how the park came about is actually quite sad because, back in the 1950s and 60s, the planning permissions allowed the state to basically build freeways that were going to go right through the heart of Barrio Logan, a majority Chicano Mexican-American neighborhood. So residents came together in 1970 to protest, to have, a plot of land, like a space that they could create something, and this is what happened here in Chicano Park. You had a whole political, social activist movement. So in a lot of ways, this park and what happened here very much represents the Mexican-American experience in the US. The need to demonstrate that their history isn't part of some foreign history. It's very much part of US, Southwest California history. Barrio Logan really comes to life on the weekends, and this weekend's very special because we're right around the corner from Dia de los Muertos, or the Day of the Dead, which is obviously one of the most important traditions in Mexico. So today, they've closed the roads, pedestrianized it, and it's really nice to see the Chicano community coming out and enjoying, the different events, the food. Amazing lowriders here, because of course lowriding is very closely linked to Chicano culture, and I love the fact that those traditions, those Mexican traditions, are very much a part of San Diego culture too.
A tall, thin white woman with features I saw in every 80s music video, but never in my neighborhood. Her beauty, a jarring reminder that I do not belong. Brown and round and dismal, far, far removed from anything that is them. A half glance telling me all the things I already knew. Their pace never slowing, I just disappear right in front of them. Yo soy de aquí y soy de allá. Yo soy chicana. Yo soy chicana. Yo soy chicana. Que viva el chicanismo.
So amazing poetry. You write it all yourself?
I do, yeah, it's work.
And you're drawing a lot from your personal experiences.
Oh yeah, 100%, yeah. That's my life on paper.
Can I ask you, what does it mean to be Chicana or Chicano? What does that mean to you?
So that question is a beautiful question. For me, Chicanismo is first and foremost cultural. We know we're Chicano because we see it in our culture. It's the way we wear our makeup. It's the art that we like. It's the language that we speak. It's our lowriders. We grow up in it. And then I think once you know it's your culture and you're growing up in it, then you realize there's a historical piece to it. Mm-hmm. So then you start learning the history of our people and the greatness that we actually come from, which isn't taught to us here, right? We're denied that. And then I think the last step for me, which is most recent, has been spiritual. Now my spirituality is opening up as I decolonize and remove the framework that was imposed on me and my people, I'm starting to explore indigenous spirituality.
And you, obviously, growing up here, you were born here, but having the Mexican roots, do you, like, identity-wise, is it hard sometimes to reconcile the two?
There's definitely a reconciliation. I remember spending time in Tijuana, living in Tijuana, and I was a pocha, and I didn't get the slang right. And of course, here, you're Mexican. So, you know, that saying, ni de aquí, ni de allá, was really popular growing up. But I think now with this, like, acceptance and resurgence in our culture, there's much more connection now, and we've changed that saying to say soy de aquí y soy de allá. I am from here and I am from there.
And you are from there too,
and it's been a process to reconcile, but I think I'm there, and I hope other folks are getting there too.
Las Cuatro Milpas is a casual lunch joint in Barrio Logan that has been dishing up traditional Mexican food to die-hard fans for nearly 100 years and maintaining the Mexican heritage of the neighborhood.
¿Fueron tus abuelos que empezaron
este negocio en el 33?
en el 30, son casi 100 años que llevas?
Ya casi. Ahí vamos. Vamos a llegar si Dios quiere.
¿Siempre has vivido en San Diego?
Sí, en México, Tijuana y aquí.
Oh, ¿tenías casa en
Estaba
Tijuana?
chiquita, sí.
Ah.
Y ya mis padres nos trajeron para acá.
¿Y te gusta? O sea, esto
Esta es vida.
es vida.
Es vida. Todo aquí es vida.
¿Te recuerda un poco de México, de Tijuana,
Todo.
el hecho de
Yo
preparar esto?
Soy mexicana de 100%. Soy de Tijuana y nunca lo voy a olvidar. Pero este patrimonio nos lo dejaron nuestros padres.
¿Y son hermanas?
Vale, hermanas es la de la caja, la dueña.
La dueña.
Ella es la mayor. Yo soy la más chica, tengo 68 años.
Okay.
O ella de verde es mi hermana también. Ella
¿También tu
viene,
hermana?
sí, ella es la segunda.
Hola.
Primero es Margarita y luego es ella.
Ah.
Este trabajo requiere de mucho amor, mucho tiempo. Nuestra cultura nunca va a cambiar. Nuestra cultura es las tortillas, los frijoles.
Ya viene empacada, necesito una, por favor.
Eres el mejor trabajo de las tres hermanas porque eres la que manda los órdenes, ¿no?
Because I'm the oldest.
Everyone has to basically do what you say.
Huh?
Everyone has to do what you say.
No, that's what you think. Not even the ones that work here for years and they do
And
whatever
they
I
don't do what you
say.
say.
Unless they hear me really mean. And then,
How many times do you come here a week?
I've been maybe 2 or 3 times a week.
Wow.
But I started coming here with my dad when I was 5 years old.
Wow.
This place has been here almost 100 years.
So it's a real institution.
Yeah.
So you know the ladies here, they probably know you quite well then.
Her name's Margarita.
Margarita.
Margarita, yeah. The tacos are one of a kind.
Yeah.
They're just like they come off the stove.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been eating the
You
tacos.
just grew up with this whole Mexican influence
That's
in
true.
California.
Yeah, with my dad. My dad used to be a tow truck driver in the area.
Okay.
So he used to bring me here when I was a child.
Do you live in this area?
I live about 30 minutes away. I live in
30
East
minutes
County, so I
away.
drive all the way over
You
here.
drive all the way here?
Yeah.
Wow. The pork meat is outstanding. What a delicious taco. These are the famous frijoles, beans with chorizo and eggs. Absolutely divine. Wow. This is the San Isidro border crossing here in San Diego. It's one of the main ways to cross over the border into Tijuana, Mexico, which is what I'm about to do now. So I'm going to walk over. Of course, you can also drive over. It's the most heavily trafficked land border in the world. So it's pretty insane to actually be doing this. To admit, I was pretty nervous about crossing the border. I wasn't sure what to expect, but I had read up on a lot of blogs which tell you in detail what to do. From this bridge, you can see all of the traffic in the border crossing heading over to the US, which is pretty crazy. Don't forget to take advantage of my discount. I've got 10% to offer you for Squarespace. They're the sponsor of this video. They're an online website design service. So if you have a blog or a passion project or even an e-commerce business, They're a great company to use because they have ready-made website templates. They've got this great design intelligence tool which leverages AI, basically making it very easy for you to build a website with no prior experience. They have things like drag and drop technology, so you can just drop your photos into the website. You can change the color and the font to match your brand's aesthetic. They also have a very cool business generator tool, which again leverages AI. So you give it a prompt and it will generate ideas for names for your blog or for your business. They also have amazing tutorials on their website and YouTube channel, which makes it even easier for you to build your website from scratch. So I recommend giving Squarespace a go. You get a free trial, and once you're ready to launch your website or domain, you get a whole 10% off using my code MeliniAngelica when you head to squarespace.com/MeliniAngelica. So let me know if you build your website. I would love to check it out.
The US-Mexico border has evolved throughout the years from piles of rocks to 30-foot steel posts in some areas. Extending for nearly 2,000 miles, much of the land has an existing border wall or has a contract in place to build one. Tijuana and the beach are where the first 14 miles of US-Mexico border wall was built in the early 90s. Playas de Tijuana ends abruptly at the US border, marked by a 12-foot fence of thick metal shafts that juts into the Pacific Ocean.
I see a lot of messages from loved ones, like this one that says, "You're always going to be the love of my life," signed from Mum, Violeta, "I love you," to her daughter Luz, Elena. So you get a lot of these messages because, you were able to come here a few years ago. This is called Friendship Park, and you were able to sort of meet up with your loved ones across the border. You could even hold hands and touch, but unfortunately now you'll see another wall a few meters from this one on the US side, which they built, and they stopped that from happening. It's actually very sad because it sort of really brings to life the fact that so many families have been separated by the wall, obviously by the border. Los 12 son de Tijuana?
No.
No?
No.
¿De otra parte de México?
I'm from Tijuana. You say Chiapas?
Okay.
Tijuana, Chiapas. ¿Has viajado a los Estados Unidos?
I live for this time in USA.
¿Vives dónde? ¿En San Diego?
Yes.
Ah, qué bueno. ¿Y te gusta también San Diego?
Yes.
¿Tú has estado también en...?
No he tenido oportunidad, pero me gustaría.
¿Te gustaría?
Sí.
¿Es difícil ir?
Para mí sí,
Sí, ¿por qué?
porque te pide muchos requisitos para pasar, para estar bien pues, para pasar legalmente.
Claro.
Ahora para pasar ilegal también es mucho dinero.
Para hacerlo
Para
ilegalmente
ilegal,
también.
dinero.
¿Qué piensas sobre esto, sobre la pared, sobre la frontera?
Bueno, nosotros lo veamos, como mexicanos lo vemos mal, pero pues es una seguridad para Estados Unidos, es una seguridad muy buena.
Para mí es curioso todo esto porque en la historia todo eso también fue parte de México.
Ajá. Pero se quitó todo eso y ya no es parte de México por los gobiernos, malos gobiernos. Creo.
¿Piensas que es debido a los gobiernos?
Yo siento que es eso, porque yo no te voy a quitar algo si tú no lo permites, pues. Ahora si tú eres el gobierno y tú dices, que está bien, te lo doy.
Sí.
Pero no, yo siento que es eso.
¿Son pareja?
Sí.
Sí. Ah, ok. Pero entonces, ¿cómo es vivir separados?
¿Está bien? ¿Todo se puede? El amor todo puede.
Sí, porque no la veo todos los días.
Eso es un poco triste porque en tu caso la frontera, pared, te ha como separado.
Sí.
Exactamente.
Pero ¿tienes esperanzas de poder ir a vivir o solamente a visitar?
Las dos cosas, a vivir y luego a visitar lo que se pueda
Sí.
por ellas.
Por ella. Por el amor.
Por ejemplo, eso es lo que nos separa.
Eso
La verdad
es lo
que
que
sí.
te separa.
Claro que te separa.
Y la pinche frontera.
Triste.
Una triste historia.
Una triste historia o buena historia.
O buena.
Bueno, ustedes.
Ok, Mari.
Viva el amor.
¿Hay personas que todavía tratan de nadar,
O de cruzar.
de cruzar
Sí, sí.
alrededor de esta
sí.
pared?
Sí, ahorita, últimamente no, pero sí se ha registrado mucho el intentos de cruce. Más bien gente que viene como del sur.
Se ve tan como si fuera un poco más fácil, ¿no? Porque no se extiende tanto
Sí,
en el mar, la pared, ¿no?
De hecho, se mira fácil, pero en todo el área de la línea
Sí.
se hace un socavón. Se hace un socavón
Sí.
como de 2 metros.
Ajá.
Y regularmente ahí es donde la gente se ahoga más, porque como se hace mucho más profundo y se hace una corriente hacia mar adentro, es donde los jala.
¿Y has tenido que
Sí, sí,
rescatar?
sí, me ha tocado, sí, claro. Bastantes casos de gente que se queda atrapada. Mucha gente se queda agarrada en los tubos.
Oh my gosh. Obviamente por tu trabajo, si necesitas ir al otro lado.
Hace como un año fue que hubo un caso de unas personas que quisieron ingresar, pero al cruzar de aquel lado cayó en paro cardíaco, cardiorrespiratorio, y tuvimos que cruzar y hacer maniobras de rescate de aquel lado. Sí.
Es bastante triste,
Sí,
¿no?
sí.
Porque hay gente que pierden su vida.
Sí, claro. Sí.
¿Cuál es como la historia más intensa o loca que tienes? Mientras que te estás haciendo ese trabajo.
Puede que sean lo que pasado, pues te va a pasar. Ponen escaleras, cuerdas, o si no, así menos se suben.
So, tú lo has visto,
Sí.
has tenido
Sí,
que...
los he agarrado yo.
¿Y qué pasan con ellos?
Para sus países los reportan.
Porque no todos son de acá, de México.
Son de Guatemala.
Guatemala, ok. Otros países centroamericanos.
Sí.
Esto de la pared, la frontera, ¿piensas que es algo necesario o
Algo como innecesario, ¿no?
innecesario?
Sí, porque como quiera se brinca, como quiera se pasa, como quiera lo hace.
O sea, si me dices hay gente que está tratando de hacer eso, es por una necesidad,
Sí.
es por una desesperación.
Sí, todos dicen eso, que una necesidad, que quieren una mejor vida para sus hijos.
Para sus hijos, ¿no? Para ellos, o
Sí.
sea,
Pues ni modo, pues es mi trabajo, pues abajo. Y
Llegan
hay
a-
gente que se cae desde arriba y se mata.
ay no. ¿Tú sientes así como mal o un poco
Sí, mal.
pesa en la conciencia un poco?
Sí, eso.
Sí.
Que pues hay niños.
Hay niños
Sí,
que cruzan.
bebés
Ay no.
y todo eso. Pero pues es mi trabajo, lo tengo que hacer.
Sí.
No, pues,
¿Has ido una vez?
pues yo quisiera.
¿Quisieras
Conocer,
también? ¿Sí? ¿Te gustaría conocer más que todo por qué?
Pues por curiosidad.
Por hacer ese trabajo debe ser un poco como
Sí, curioso.
curioso. Sí. Yeah. You know, although you've got the border here and there's a lot of sadness when you speak to locals, it's also a very happy place because it's the beach. So lots of people come here on the weekend, like today, and you have lots of families, you know, they're eating lunch, they're chilling out. Some of them are in the sea. So you kind of got the happy vibe, but then of course you've also got a bit of a somber vibe when you see this big wall.
Modern Tijuana is a place of cultural renaissance and has seen a boom in creativity across the music, art, and food scene.
So, one of the things that lots of people told me to do in Tijuana is to go to one of the craft breweries because they do a lot of their own beers here. This one's cool because it's in a car park, so I just walked up to the 5th floor. You've already got some crazy views of the city here, which are really, really cool. This place is called Norte. Norte means north. Brewing company. So I've noticed the craft beer scene in both in San Diego and apparently here in Tijuana are very big, you know, they love it. Anyway, I've asked for like a tasting thing where they give you like 4 so you can kind of taste a few of the different ones they make. Is it all made here in Tijuana?
Yeah, are brewed here.
Oh, okay. So, try some of these beers. I like it. It's a light beer. I'm not going to lie. I'm not the biggest fan of craft beers. I always tend to prefer the ones that taste the most like lager. So this is good. It's very light. I think it's quite cool though that they make the beers here and that whole scene is like really taken off. you would never really associate Tijuana with things like craft breweries and, you know, these sort of cool, hip bars. But that's why Tijuana is so interesting, because it's close, well, right across the border from San Diego. There's so much overlap between the two, you know what I mean? Like the food scene, alcohol scene, like there's a lot of fusion of the two cultures.
Tijuana's food scene is frequently said to be the best in Mexico, with people from all over the country converging in this border city and creating a culinary melting pot. Many San Diegans regularly cross the border to come to institutions like Tacos Al Frank and get their taco fix on the weekends.
Where are you guys from?
We're from LA.
From LA and?
From here.
Tijuana. Oh, okay. So we got some people from Tijuana, some people from LA.
Yeah.
So you've come to visit your friends?
He's my cousin.
Oh, okay, cousin. Do you feel like this is the best place to get tacos in Tijuana?
Yes.
Yeah. Better than San Diego?
I mean, they're good, but I would say they have this flavor that only you can get in Mexico.
Okay, yeah, like the true, authentic tacos.
100%.
Yeah.
The tortilla, the beef, the salsa, everything.
Yeah. What do you like about kind of living and being from like the borderlands?
It's not a mix that you can get anywhere. The flavor, the meat.
So you feel like it's unique?
Yeah, and the fact that you can come and go, even better.
Yeah, because you obviously take advantage of that a lot, right?
You have to. And they cross every day pretty much.
Oh, do you? And why? And how? For work?
Not actually. It's for visiting family or go out with friends or something like that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's cool. This is what they call the vampiro, or the vampire. So you've got melted cheese on like the tostada, the hard shell, the adobada, pork, meat, and lots of guacamole, salsa, onions, cilantro, everything. Okay, that is delicious. Wow, that is unbelievable.
30 kilometers north from the Playa de Tijuana border are the beaches of San Diego. But here, the sea, which is an undefeatable obstacle for many from across the border, means endless freedom for the surfer kids in California.
Have you been surfing a long time?
Since I was 12, and I'm 55 next month.
Wow. So a really long time.
Long time.
What do you love about growing up on the border? You know, growing up in San Diego, being right next to the Mexico border. Mexico right next door.
Funny that you say that. I actually just got back this morning from Mexico. I spent the weekend down there.
In Tijuana.
And then surfing down there in Playa de Rosarito. I have a little tiny house down there.
Nice.
Some property. And then today I had to get some more waves.
It's quite nice how there's quite a lot of overlap between the cultures. Like,
yeah, I think we've got a pretty good little melting pot here. It's good to mix the cultures for sure.
Yeah. Cool, thank you.
Have a margarita on both sides of the border.
Yeah, that's important.
Exactly.
Thank you. Are you going to go out?
I just got out. I'm waiting for my son to get back.
Oh, your son as well is a surfer.
He's shooting the pier for the first time.
Wow. What does that mean?
What
does that mean, shooting the pier?
On the other side and going through the pylons.
Oh, wow. Hi, guys.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Are you both from here?
Yeah.
From San Diego?
I am. I'm from Boston.
Oh, you're from Boston. You're visiting?
Yeah. I live here for the past 2 years.
Oh, cool. And you are from San Diego?
Yeah. San Diego since like 3 years old.
Oh, since 3 years old. Okay. Do you like living here?
Love it.
Yeah.
It's better. I wouldn't trade this place for anything else.
What's like your favorite thing about it, San Diego?
I mean, this is my favorite thing about it, but the weather, like nice ocean. The people here are really friendly.
Yeah.
And they're always like, there's no rush, but we're just trying to have fun and hang out. I don't know, it's terrible. The waves are too big, too nice. It's sunny all the time.
Yeah, it's good weather, especially coming from Boston, right?
Right, yeah. The food, just too good.
Yeah.
I mean, now too much. Nice. Well, we're gonna go get some tacos, but it was
taco, fish taco.
You know, fish tacos.
You guys are surfers. Nice to meet you guys. Bye. Talking to a lot of the surfers and the locals here, it's interesting because a lot of them go across the border, they go surfing in Baja California. People go there to eat tacos, people have holiday homes there. It very much feels like an extension of San Diego. This is one of the really popular places, taco trucks, to come and get a fish taco. Super popular here, the Baja California style taco, which made its way to San Diego. Everyone loves it, so I cannot wait to try it.
Lime in there.
Lime in there.
And then
hot sauce.
You gotta ask them for the chipotle.
So that's the chipotle.
This is the chipotle.
Okay, it's spicy or?
It's mild.
Okay, it's mild. All right, so I've done the lime, I've done the chipotle sauce, like you said.
Yes, yes.
Very excited.
I put the extra red because I love spicy.
Okay. They don't call it the Baja taco, do they?
No.
The fish taco.
This is just the fish taco, California fish taco. They fry it, fresh onions and cabbage and tomatoes.
That's good. That fish is really crispy, huh?
Super fresh.
Yeah. You come here a lot?
Oh yeah. I live down the street.
Oh yeah, you live down the street. Do you surf?
Born and raised here and started surfing when I was 6 years old.
Oh wow. So you must be pretty good, huh?
I'm alright.
What do you like about the fact that you've grown up in a city which is like on the border with Mexico?
The diversity and the multicultural and all the food. Food's amazing.
Yeah.
And the people are amazing. And the weather's amazing.
It's interesting. I've heard a lot of people say like San Diego wouldn't be San Diego without Tijuana. Tijuana wouldn't be Tijuana without San Diego. Do you think that's true?
I mean, San Diego was a part of Mexico until it got, to California, but it basically is, like, you can find artifacts and all that, and just the history and the people.
There's a lot of shared history there. Oh, since I've been in San Diego, like, really feel that kind of fusion of cultures. And there's, like, influences from Mexico here. But even when you go there, Could you imagine life in San Diego without tacos?
I couldn't.
No.
I wouldn't love it the same.
No?
No.
During my time in San Diego and Tijuana, it's become clearer to me that they share so much more than just a border. The borderland culture found in the San Diego-Tijuana region is something truly beautiful. 2 countries, 2 languages, 2 cultures, 1 people. Looking beyond the mainstream rhetoric often used to divide people, it's important to remember that these lands have always been here, and the river of people has flowed for centuries. It is only the designation border that is relatively new. Growing up on the borderlands, it's clear that though the border may physically represent a barrier between these 2 worlds, symbolically it has united a population that depends on each other for their very existence and way of living. And that's the true magic of the border cities.